Hello everyone! Today I'm here to talk to you about a basic tune on your engine. But first of all, I'm gonna tell you 3 usual mistakes that everyone normally does and that you cannot do and will prevent you to stop on the track or just it will make your engine last much longer. But first of all, I wanna show you where the fuck I am. First, and maybe one of the biggest mistakes that everyone does. As soon as you start your engine and your engine is cold, why you start your engine and you start immediately it's completely wrong. You are just breaking your engine, and really the engine companies are just on the back clapping and like thank you because you are destroying your engine. So don't do that. Start your engine and slowly warm it until the 80-90 degrees before you put it on the track or before you make any tune on your engine. Because if your engine is cold, you are not doing any tune on your engine. Your engine is going to be rich. So you are not really taking nothing from your engine, no information. So warm it slowly. Like as soon as you start, let it work on idle for a while, like warm it slowly, start to push the throttle slowly, no high RPMs, nothing, just to make sure your engine warms slowly. This is one of the most important things for the people that run nitro engines. This is very important to make sure your engine warms slowly. Second usual mistake that I see a lot on the racetracks. Please make always sure that your throttle is set on 0. I see many people struggling with the idle of the engine, and then the problem is all about your throttle that is not on 0. So guys, when you are setting or when you are going to a racetrack or wherever, make sure that your throttle is set on 0. So your idle, it's not affected about your servo or your trim. So this is the second most important point that I see many people struggling, and then you set your idle like your setting is on the throttle, and then you go on the track, and as soon as you brake, your engines shut down. That's normal, because as soon as you brake, you are going actually to have the correct idle when you brake. So make sure your idle is always on the 0. Third big mistake. Never, but never skip to check the temperature on your engine while you are driving. When you go on the track, you drive a little bit, 5 minutes, whatever. When you stop, check always the temperature and follow always a basic setting. Let's say your engine works between 100 and 110 degrees. So it's that window that you need to work. And in the future, you need always to work on that window. So you can always check your time on the fuel consumption and everything is based on that temperature. Because if your engine, imagine you are testing and your engine is like 110 degrees, then you go on the racetrack and you are on the race and your engine is like 95. Believe me, you are going to have around 1 minute less on the run time. And that's true. It's super important your engine runs perfectly on that window. So when you are testing and then when you are racing, your window will tell you exactly the same your fuel consumption, and your notes and your knowledge about it will be always the same. So do that. because I can tell you I maybe lost already one world champion because of this small mistake. I know that there are many other small mistakes that can be changed, but I consider that 3 mistakes the biggest and the more usual that I see when I go on the racetrack. So now I'm going to tell you how to make a basic tune so you can tune the engine like this and follow these steps. And believe me, your engine will not go to shut down on the track, and you will be able to run perfectly. Not 100% on the performance of your engine, but I'm sure you are going to run 80 to 90% without any issue. Let's go for it. You can know for 2 things if your bottom is too rich or not. One of them is when you hit the throttle and you are like for 10 seconds on idle, your engine needs to be rich. And if it's super rich, it means your bottom is way too rich. So let's do it. The second thing is when it's the idle is coming later. Like now, you see? It was a little bit up and then down. It means the bottom still a little bit rich. You see, the 2 times, it was higher and then down. The engine is still a little bit rich, but it's almost on the point. You don't want one engine to come from the top, or when you are full throttle and when you brake, your engine come immediately to the perfect idle. This is very bad, because if you have an engine like this on the track, it's almost sure your engine is going to stop in any case. So you want always your engine to be a little bit rich on the bottom to cool down the engine, and also to prevent it to shut down because your idle is too low. Higher and now low. This is the perfect tuning. This is maybe not 100% on the track, but now on the track you just need to touch on the top to make it the top perfectly, and will make also, because this screw here, it makes the top and also the overall, let's say. It also makes a little bit on the bottom. So as soon as you have your bottom set on here, normally on the track you don't need to touch it anymore. So now as soon as my engine is set, I just go on the track and make a fine tune. So guys, with this video I just want you to make sure that when you are setting your engine, and while you are driving and you full brake or just leave the throttle, you can have the RPM a little bit higher and then it goes down until the perfect idle. You need to make sure that, because if you don't have this and you are leaving the throttle and your idle is coming immediately, that low idle, this is halfway for your engine to stop on the track, and you don't want that. So make sure you have always your idle a little bit higher and then coming down. And you can make that with the setting on the bottom, like I show you on the video. You can open a little bit, so it's going to be a little bit rich, and your idle is always going to be a little bit higher and then coming down. Second thing, guys, is the power of your engine. I see a lot, and mainly in off-road, because on-road is different, you really need the power. But off-road, if you are always looking for the most powerful engine for your car, it's completely wrong, guys. Because in off-road, you want a linear engine, and one engine that the consumption is very good. So you can run 8-9 minutes. And believe me, if you are using a super powerful engine, I bet with you, if you put in your car a linear engine, in 5 minutes you are going to be faster like 1 second. It's obvious why. Because with a linear engine, you are going to jump all jumps correctly, perfectly, like no mistakes. And also, when you are exiting from the corner, you don't need to fight with your car. And off-road sometimes is already difficult to drive, you know, because we have low traction or some bumpy sections. If you have an engine that is super powerful and is just making your car nervous to drive, if you have a super powerful engine, it's going to make even worse. It's going to make your car even more nervous, and you don't want that. You want an engine that can help you on these difficult conditions, you know, and that's a linear engine. So if you need to pick an engine for your car, pick a linear engine and not a super powerful engine, because you can be the hero for one lap and make a half second faster than everyone, but on the 5 minutes, and that's what matters, or 5 or 10 or one final 45 minutes, what matters is the 45 minutes and not one lap. And for that you need a linear engine, you know, that helps you driving and make it easier for you to carry on. And the last thing is bearings. I see many people complaining about their bearings on the engines, like they are broken after, I don't know, few liters. I don't believe that the companies of engines are using shitty bearings, but I do believe that the fuels that we are using are not good. And I will tell you a reason for that, and you can maybe prove on yourself. If you are one of the guys that have problem on the bearings, do this small experience. After you stop in one weekend, imagine you drive, you stop your engine for 1 week. After that 1 week, open the engine and check how is it the engine inside. If it's completely like dry inside, you know, if it's completely dry, your fuel is shit. And this is what is going to break your bearings, because I don't believe that the engine companies are going to put one bearing, one shitty bearing, and that can cost €1 or $1 less than one good bearing. It's completely ridiculous, because they are not going to do that, because it can break all engine for just $1 or €1, you know. But I do know that there are many different fuel companies that use different oils, and some are much better than the others. That's why the prices are so, you know, there are so much difference between prices. So make sure your fuel it's good, and this can also prevent your engine to survive much more. See you next time, guys.